except where them hands, where them holes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying?
This is why I train in martial arts.
So why do I train in the martial arts, you ask? This is why I train in martial arts. I was just going to react to one video. But when I searched for it, I found that no, I need to do a reaction to two videos at the same time. And the reason why I'm doing this is because one of these videos is 7 years old at the time of me doing this reaction. 7 years old. 7 years old. So this is not a new problem. Anybody who knows anything about American history should know this isn't a new problem. But, a lot of times when we say something and we complain about stuff like this, people try to say we're making it up, we're being snowflakes, we're being violent. Any old excuse will do. So I'm just going to let the facts speak for themselves.
Estimated 260,000 suspected hate crimes that happen in America every year, according to the Department of Justice's Bureau of Statistics. Helping to put this week's attack into perspective is Washington Post reporter Christopher Ingram, joining me from Baltimore. So, according to the FBI, violent crime numbers have steadily been declining over the last 2 decades.
Now, that's something that people would throw in my face when I would say, I just got to, I don't feel safe. I think that, somebody might try to do something to me. They'll say, well, violent crime has been declining for the past few decades. But
what about hate crimes?
Hate crimes are basically flat, and that's kind of an interesting. It's an interesting slice of data. Basically, there are numbers from both the FBI and the Bureau of Justice Statistics. They show that the Bureau of Justice Statistics shows that there are about 300,000 hate crimes each year, and that's been pretty steady going all the way back to 2004. And one of the really interesting things is that this number has held steady even as the number of active hate groups in the United States has decreased, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center. And one thing that a lot of people think is happening is it points to a rise of so-called lone wolf actors, like potentially this situation in Charleston. And that's a concerning development for law enforcement officials.
So are the targets still the same people, whether they're from hate groups or lone wolves?
Yeah, so the numbers and the rates seem to be pretty steady. Among racial groups, African Americans experience the most hate crime. They're the
who experienced the most hate crimes?
Americans experience the most hate crime.
Oh, I didn't back up enough. Who was that?
Groups African Americans experience the most hate crime. They're the ones most likely to be targeted.
African Americans are the most likely people to be targeted by hate crimes. In case you didn't know, I'm an African American. Don't ask me why I'm taking the martial arts class and assume I'm just doing it because I want to do something to somebody. Because why?
Groups African Americans experience the most hate crime. They're the ones most likely to be targeted. Their chances of being targeted for a hate attack are roughly double any other group, and it's more than 10 times that for white people.
Now, does that mean that I'm not going to train you if you're not African American? Of course not. That's not what that means. But I would strongly urge people who are more likely to be targeted for a hate crime to sign up for one of my martial arts classes so that you have a better chance of protecting yourself. Now, keep in mind, this was 7 years ago. This video was 7 years ago. That's what it says here in YouTube, right? It says, let me zoom in. You see it, 7 years ago. There's the date, June 20th, 2015. Now, let's go to the video that first piqued my attention. I'm not going to get into the politics of it because to me, it doesn't matter who's in charge and what they should do or think, conservative, liberal. I'm about you learning how to protect yourself.
Alaska Native 16, Native Hawaiian 4.
So let me get to where it is. Here we go. Shout out, by the way, to in addition to shout out to the Washington Post, shout out to Philip Scott Audio. Man, I've seen his channel grow over the years, and I won't be like you when I grow up. I just put it like that. Anyway, good. You're doing good. You're doing good, Phil. I know I don't know you, but I think you're doing an awesome job.
It's the white supremacists.
He said it's the white supremacists that are conducting hate crime attacks.
They lead every year in being doing things to black people. Now, when we talk about an anti-black hate crime bill, when we talk about that, we have FBI data to back up why we need an FBI, why we need a hate crime bill. It is easily a slam dunk that it can be done by FBI statistics. But yet we don't have one because this country wants to make sure that black people are not protected.
Now, that's where I digress from him, because I'm not going to wait around for anybody else to protect me. I'm going to protect me as much as I can. This premiered January the 4th, 2023. I'm recording this on January the 7th. January the 4th, 2023. This is still a problem. 2023, this is still a problem. We need reparations and protection in the United States. While I will never tell anybody to not argue for reparation or protection. In the meantime, while we're trying to do that, learn how to protect yourself. In addition to learning, I'll just say, in addition to using Second Amendment functions, which I don't teach that. Learn how to defend yourself empty-handed in case you're caught empty-handed. Plus, it's a great form of exercise. I don't even consider the martial arts as a great way to lose weight because I've been practicing for decades and I didn't lose weight until very recently. But what it'll do is it'll make you want to look into ways into moving your body better, and eventually you'll get around to it. That's what I've learned. You're going to eventually get around to it. You're going to eventually learn how to handle yourself at any size as well. So don't sleep on some of these martial arts that have weight on them, because for I had been one, I still got some weight on me. For I am one, and I can tell you firsthand, size can be quite deceiving. Let me move on.
Victims of hate crimes by the white supremacists. Now, they say unknown. We don't know what that is. Black or African American. I don't know. Is that a black immigrant? We don't know what that means. They say multiple. I guess he's biracials, and it's Asians, be 23. American Indian, Alaska Native, 16. Native Hawaiian, 4. They say the offender's ethnicity.
If you probably can't see what he's saying here. He's showing the offender race. It looks like, according to this data, when it comes to hate crimes, a black person is more likely to be attacked by someone that is white. So that's not a reason to go around being afraid either of anybody because of the color of their skin. No. I think we should all know better than that by now. But you do need to, why don't you learn how to protect yourself? Put yourself in a martial arts class, put your child in a martial arts class, so that you can protect yourself.
With hate crimes. And if you say, well, Phil, what, can you kind of show me, the proof of what you're talking about? No problem. Let's just go over 2020. There was actually more hate crimes of black people done in 2020 than actually 2021. Actually, hate crimes went down for black people, actually. 2019, as you can see, black people are leading. 2018, black people leading again. 2017, okay. 2016.
And that's leading as victims. What's the solution? You complain you don't offer a solution. That's another whataboutism. Why don't you, another deflection people like to cast. Here's my solution. Take a martial arts class. If you're near me, sign up for one of mine. Now, I don't care who you are. I don't care whether you're in a primarily targeted group or not. If you feel like you need to know how to protect yourself, come to me. I will do my best to show you. You're not going to be able to beat everybody up. You're not going to be bulletproof. You're not going to turn into Neo from the Matrix. You're not going to get Dragon Ball Z powers. But I do at least hope that I can make you better than you were before you started training. Hopefully, help you get in, better shape and improve your health, that type of thing. Help you cope with life. And you know what? Sometimes it's actually fun. How about that? Thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with people like to talk about the martial arts and peace. And as always, thank you for your time. And as always, martial artists aren't violent just because they're studying a martial art. A person is violent because they choose to they choose to indulge and engage in violent behavior. Peace.